One of the dishes that I like making at college is a cabbage salad. As somebody cooking for just myself, the really nice thing about a cabbage salad compared to like a lettuce salad is that it lasts a lot longer. I don't need to like make it up individually for each day, and like if I get a bag of lettuce, like I might not get through that, whereas cabbage just lasts longer than lettuce. Um, so like I can pre-prepare it like I'm doing now. Like I'm not going to eat this entire amount right now. This is actually just half a cabbage because I have a massive cabbage from home. But I'll normally like do a single whole store-bought cabbage into it, and I'll just cut it up like into about 1 centimeter squares, kind of perpendicular-ish. It's not exactly. I try to chop it up to a level that I don't know, to something that is eatable, not bite sized, but like edible sized pieces of cabbage that aren't like too big, but you'll have bits and pieces in there. It's not too bad. And this isn't just cabbage. In addition to the main base, which is the cabbage, I'll also put in carrots. I would probably suggest grating these up, but I don't actually have a grater that works very well, so I just chop them up very finely to put in this. I'll also add apples to this cabbage salad. Cheese is also something I'll put into this. The cheese, along with the apples, really give this a good flavor, and it's not that good without them the couple times I haven't put them in. These four ingredients, the cabbage, cheese, apples, and carrots, they really make up what I would say the core ingredients of this cabbage salad are. Basically all the cabbage salads I make have them. Sometimes if I have another ingredient, like I've grated some beets in one time, just whatever else there is, I'll add in, and that can add interesting flavors. But these are what I'm just doing as a base cabbage salad and the core ingredients. I'll also add a good handful of raisins. The reason I'm not soaking these is that when these sit for a while, they'll kind of absorb moisture from the rest of these vegetables, and they do plump up. So like tonight they'll be a little bit not so great, but in the future they'll be nice and good. And if I'm doing like a single serving size, which I sometimes do, I will soak these in hot water beforehand. So I'll mix this up by hand and just try to get the little bits and pieces of apples, carrots, cheese kind of evenly mixed in with the cabbage, because just eating straight cabbage really isn't that good, because the cheese and carrots particularly are like little treats. I mean cheese and apples, but carrots are also nice. And you don't want to just eat the straight cabbage. And as I mentioned before, I prepare this and I don't eat it all at once. What I'll do is I'll store it. So I don't dress it at this point. I'll make a dressing and put that on basically on my plate at the table. So I'll store this in containers, and this will last, I don't know, a couple days, maybe up to a week. It gets a little bit not so great, but I'll kind of eat this for every meal until then. So it's really, it goes by pretty fast before you have to make another one. And it's darn good. What I do for a dressing is a homemade mustard vinaigrette. This is a container of mustard, which like I may get some more out with a knife, but I'll make a salad dressing with it instead. So this is just some olive oil, which I generally do about half and half of olive oil and the homemade apple cider vinegar. And one of the kind of neat things about using a mustard thing is that it acts as an emulsifier for the watery vinegar and the oil, so that it doesn't separate as badly. There's definitely still some separation. And this will be like my first one where I fill it up quite a bit, and then when I'm done with this one, what I'll generally do is add some more apple cider and oil, and then to help clean this out a second time. So this cabbage salad is just the portion that I'm going to be eating tonight, which fills up about half my plate, but it's pretty light and fluffy. And I'll put the dressing on. I find putting the dressing on right before you eat it works well, because this is a pretty liquidy dressing, and so it flows to the bottom quite a bit. And this cabbage and carrots and apples, honestly, and of course cheese, is something I'll buy throughout the year, even if I don't have the homegrown ones I have right now, because I really enjoy this cabbage salad. It feels good to have like this ton of vegetables in there, and a leafy vegetable at that. And it just really, I find a really nice addition to most other meals. I'll almost never eat it just as a single meal, but I'll have it as a side to another meal like these microwave baked potatoes from last week.